Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The brand new map for Warzone 2 was revealed with Call of Duty Next. It's called Mazrah, and it looks absolutely insane. And today we are detailing every single location that's been revealed, which is essentially the entire map. You guys can see here, we are on the Call of Duty blog, and we've got a spicy one here. We got images of all these different locations, details on them as well. So we're gonna go through and break all of this down. This obviously is the general overview. So we have all these different locations, and you might notice that quite a few of these are actually from the leak that we saw. The leak that broke down the map and sort of had like the mock image of it. Basically 100% accurate, honestly. This map is definitely very similar to that. So they got that right, and we got all the locations basically that we've heard of before: Oasis, Village, Oil, Quarry, which of course is MW2's Quarry, Hydroelectric, the main city, which is Al Mazrah City. We got Marshlands, Sharim Pass, Observatory Caves, Port Said City, Akhdar Village, I might be mispronouncing that, Cemetery, Sawa Village, Sarif Bay, which is a ground war map as well, Fortress, and Airport. So we got details of every single one of these different locations as we go through as well. 150 player battle royale. This time we shouldn't have to drop that player count ever like we did with Modern Warfare and Warzone now, where obviously it's only 120. So nice, fast-paced, high action. It's gonna be a ton of fun. So our intel on Al Mazrah, located in Western Asia, the Republic of Adal defines just a small part of the original cradle of civilization, an unfortunate result of modern state lines being drawn to control its gifts to the world. So we get our first image here. Obviously it is very desert themed. There is a lot of rocks here, a lot of desert sort of areas, not a ton of green grass and, you know, lush hills like we've seen on previous maps, but I think the diversity on this map is way better than what we've seen before. We do have places like Oasis here, which is several pools of fresh water and palm trees offer respite from the desert beyond it. Note the ancient ruins. This area was once a means of life. So Oasis area, a little bit more grass. There is some water which you'll be able to actually interact with. You can go and step in the water without insta dying like back on Verdansk, you know, so that'll be nice and fun. Tariq Village here, a little bit more established. We got some verticality. You can see in the distance it's gonna get real spicy too. But obviously we have some open areas here at the basketball court, some towers you can climb with the ladders there, a little bit of verticality surrounding the other areas, and, you know, rotating into here late game with one of the 3 different zones, because that's a thing, could be pretty interesting. United Offensive reduced this once powerful village to mere rust and rubble. The tight confines of these areas make it conducive to small squad combat, especially duels. We got the oil area, which again, pretty established, and this looks very Blackout-esque, but also a little bit of power plant almost from Caldera as well. I get sort of a combination vibe there. One of the largest employers in the region, this area, this oil field refinery is positioned strategically near some of Adal's oldest petroleum derricks. Note the living quarters to the north and south of this otherwise sprawling factory. So there's going to be various different areas you can loot here, and obviously there's a lot of cover here to rotate in and out of as you're going through. By the way, as we do break down the entire map here, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1 million. We got constant Warzone 2 MW2 content flowing all throughout the next few days with everything going on with the beta and whatnot. Also right now, G Fuel, my code WhosImmortal, is 30% off your entire order. It's the best time to stock up if you plan on grinding out the beta either during this weekend or next weekend. Be sure to throw in my code at checkout. You get that increased discount on basically everything on the site. But yeah, oil field definitely looking pretty interesting. I imagine you probably can't get all the way up on top of the smokestacks here, but some verticality here and there, and like I said, a lot of cover. Then we've got Quarry, which is essentially Quarry from MW2. Massive depots of limestone make the Quarry one of the largest industrial areas in Al Mazrah, with nearly a dozen warehouses. So it's more established than Quarry from MW2, but it's going to be the similar layout to what we had back then. This is the point of interest that I'm probably the most intrigued with: Al Mazrah City, where High Rise lies. And apparently the helicopter that sits in High Rise you can actually go in and interact with and use. High rises and modern buildings are at the core of the largest point of interest in Al Mazrah. It was planned to be the ideal city. It soon welcomed nearly 1 million people who were pushed out of the slums onto the outskirts. So it's more like lore descriptions of these, but obviously the images themselves give us a decent amount of information. Very open with a lot of water here that you can probably swim through and rotate in the actual like sort of riverbed here itself, or you could take the roads which are a little bit more exposed to some of these high-rise areas. Hopefully we get zip lines and stuff that we can use to get on top of buildings like this, and it's not like Verdansk where it's running up 25 flights of stairs to get shotgun, you know what I'm saying? We also have hydroelectric and scrapyard is actually in the center of this. You guys can see here if I zoom in a little bit. Yes, right in the center there, that's the scrapyard layout, which is pretty exciting. So a little Easter egg there, if you will. But centralized here, you get some bridges that almost look like they're from Euphrates Bridge back in, MW 2019. A lot of water around here as well that, again, we'll be able to interact with and swim through and wade through. That will potentially mess up some of your engagements because you can only use the pistols and whatnot. So keep that in mind as well. We got the marshlands, kind of low ground, going to be obviously a lot of water around these areas too. So something you're going to have to be very mindful of at all times. Next up, we've got caves, which I think was leaked to partially be like Afghan. From this image itself, kind of hard to confirm that, but it is, again, a very verticality based location, it seems like, because obviously the caves are going to be a little bit low ground and present some different alternative rush routes to the area. But you got, looks like, high ground areas up here with the bridge. There's also some I guess pipelines running across as well, but then you have the low ground here with the water. Again, you might be able to actually use some boat vehicles in this area. It looks like there's a dock potentially for that spawn, then an interior with the caves over there as well. A deep network of underground hideouts lies in plain sight of a small village. So yeah, definitely going to be a lot of little flank routes and sneaky routes to utilize there. We've got observatory, which is one of the more centralized locations here atop the tallest mountain, so it's going to be very vertical and have good sight lines all across for snipers. This is going to be a prime drop spot, I imagine. There's several dome structures, including a destroyed one. Help the region chart out the stars. Note the research facilities between the observation buildings. So high ground for sure on the buildings. A lot of cover up here, and of course you got the high ground on everyone rotating up this. Hopefully it won't be like a peak-esque location that's just so vertical dominant that it becomes annoying. We'll have to wait and see though. We got Ulshrim Pass. Again, seems like there's a lot of verticality on this one. You can see the observatory in the background here. We got some low ground buildings, some streets obviously, but then it goes up this small little hill where it's a little bit more established with some buildings. Good sniper points for camping, unfortunately. Going to look out all across this area here. Next up, we've got Village, which is definitely more established, and this is going to be one of the more confined areas on the map when it comes to close quarters engagements. This is one of the best places for that, it looks like. You got all these little corridors, you got all these little rooftops that you can mess around with for SMGs, shotguns. That type of gunplay really going to thrive in this area in specific. Saeed City, this is another fun one. This is going to be a lot more established as well. An extensive modern mall is juxtaposed by old apartments that house generations of port workers. So you're going to have verticality here. You're going to have interiors of this actual mall itself, which seems super detailed. That's going to be another fun play space for sure. Again, where close quarters is really going to thrive. We've got port on here as well. Again, getting some blackout vibes. Obviously, this is going to be a big place for water involvement on the map, with so much water being able to be utilized through boat gameplay, through swimming and everything there, on potential rotations, but also as potential danger zones too. I mean, if you have to rotate across this water here into that field, that's going to be rough for sure. Then we got another village where we actually have a shipwreck. Again, you can see observatory down in the background there. Plenty more buildings to hide out in if you need, or use those for cover and rotations, but also much more exposed areas with the water. There is so much water feature on this map, or so many different water features all across the area. I really think that's going to be a cool way to change up usual Warzone gameplay from what we're so used to seeing, right? We also have Cemetery wide open, next to no cover. This is an area that I'm definitely going to avoid. One, because it's spooky. Also, two, though, yeah, you're going to get beamed from anyone in any high ground area around here. We've got Sarif Bay, which, like I said, again, is a ground war map in multiplayer, so this will be a plenty familiar area. We got the little lighthouse area, observatory again off in the distance as well. Fortress, which looks very Fortune's Keep-esque, if you will, much more established than some of the other areas that we've seen. Some corridors for sure, some good high grounds areas over across these little pillars that pretty much surround the entire area. So that'll be a pretty interesting point of interest as well. And then another one that I am so excited for, Airport, which is officially Terminal from MW2. It is back. It is basically encompassing the interior location here, which is going to be really cool. Unfortunately, we don't get interior screenshots of it, but it is going to be a remake of Terminal from MW2. I see an ATC tower here, but I already see one zip line, so that's good news, right? The fact that that's already there leads me to believe it's not going to be a one-way in, one-way out type of tower where you can just camp forever like back on Verdansk. But some really cool stuff for Al Mazrah, our new Warzone map. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below. I like the diversity, all the water features running throughout it. There's good high ground, there's good low ground. It seems like it's going to be a nice change of pace compared to what we have here between Caldera and Verdansk. And of course, it's all on the MW2 engine here, MW2 weapons, and we will be breaking down like full-on Warzone gameplay, what to expect with that in the coming days. So make sure you are subscribed with those notifications turned on so you can catch that video when it drops. All other information regarding Warzone 2, MW2, everything going on in COD, you're going to find it here daily. So be sure to hit that bell icon, turn on those noties as well. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be seriously appreciated. But that's going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.